So let's go ahead and get started. Could you tell us a little bit about what we need to know from today's discoveries?
From today's discoveries, we brought additional agencies in, more boats, more sonar, and with that effort, we were able to locate both of the victims.
And when was that discovered?
About 30 or 40 minutes ago.
Were they located in close proximity to each other?
They're located about roughly 8 feet apart in about 15 to 16 feet of water.
We were able to use sonar to establish where they were, and that made a quick recovery, so the family has closure.
You never want this to be what comes out of a search like this, but it does give the family closure. I mean, what kind of effect does this have on the family instead of having a 10, 11, 12-day search for the bodies?
It's enormous. They're not worrying. They're able to know exactly where their loved one is, and they can start the process of grieving.
And could you tell us a little bit more about what happened, what led up to this? Do we know why the young men were in the water in the first place?
So Saturday night, it's our understanding that there was a group chat that was taking place of Daniel High School students who were jumping off the bridge back here and swimming across, and my understanding is they were challenging one another, and this group came out, jumped from the bridge, and immediately one of the parties went into distress, another party went in to assist, and ultimately they both went under. A third party was recovered from the water by a boater that was passing by, and so that call came into us roughly, I believe, 10:28 p.m. and we had first responders on scene within minutes, and by 11 o'clock, well before 11 o'clock, we were searching the water. And so for the past 2 days, we've had divers in the water and sonar, and even including cadaver dogs today.
Just to clarify, the two that were just the two victims, one of them had actually jumped in to save the other one, is that right?
That's our understanding.
Do we know around what ages these young men were?
16 and 15.
16 and 15. Were they on the soccer team over at the high school?
I do not know that.
And when you say one of them was in distress, could they not swim? Had they hit something? Had they hurt themselves? Do we know what happened?
The reports from an individual who was on the shore sounded like the way he landed was awkward, which might have caused him to go into distress. I don't know necessarily about his swimming abilities, but that's our understanding.
This dare, this challenge, is this something that has been going on, or for a longer period of time, or is it just this one night that this happened?
I'm only familiar with it for that one evening.
Now these, at the end of the day, young men, but these are children still there under the age of 18. This affects families in our region. I mean, it's a stupid question, but how are these families coping? How are they moving forward right now?
I think they have each other. We have a great support system. We have been having friends and family have been here the whole time, taking care of each other, and that is taking care of each other and making sure that they have all the needs that they need.
So 15 and 16 years old, at that age, you feel invincible. You feel like nothing's going to happen to you. What's something we can take away from this tragedy today, especially when it comes to Lake Hartwell and something safe here?
Yeah, so I think the problem with Lake Hartwell too, I mean, one of the obstacles we had throughout this search was how murky the water was. Our divers all reported that they weren't able to see more than a couple inches in front of their face. But there's actually a strong current that takes place right underneath that bridge. And so if you're not a strong swimmer, I would not suggest swimming without a flotation device. But also you have to be careful to follow TikTok trends or habits where people are trying to encourage people to jump off bridges or anything of that nature. I mean, it's just inherently not safe.
Do you think these young men were thinking about that whenever they jumped off this bridge, or do you think they were just having fun, not thinking too much about it?
I'm sure they were just having fun, and unfortunately, this is where we find ourselves now.
And when is the teenage challenge?
That would be a coroner question. We're going to let the coroner.
And I can say that's not something they'd be able to schedule immediately. I mean, more than likely, I would anticipate that would be tomorrow, but at what time, I don't know.
Are you able to release the young men's victims right now?
I'm going to let the coroner release the names of the two individuals. That's typically on them. We just want to make sure that all affected family members are notified so they're not finding out who needs to.
Do you know what? And I apologize if you've already said this, but what grades were they in?
My understanding is they are sophomores.
At Daniel High School.
Correct.
What happens next? I know that's a question I'm sure you get from a lot of different people at this period whenever the bodies are actually found. What happens next for the families, for these high schoolers, for this community that needs to grieve now?
So we've reached out to Daniel High School already to alert them. We alerted them yesterday of this being a possible outcome so that they can prepare themselves. One of the things that we will do here in the next hour is we're about to change locations and go meet with the family and kind of have a debriefing with them so that we can inform them exactly what we found, how we found it, where we found it. So they have a full scope of what transpired, and hopefully that aids them in closure. And then naturally we'll have a debriefing at some point as first responders because this takes an emotional toll on all of us.
I would assume it would. I mean,
Yes, we always do. We like to do debriefings after long incidents so that our first responders are in a good space, and we offer all types of mental health for them. And this is Mental Health Awareness Month, but we constantly do debriefings for our first responders so that we take care of them.
is there anything else we need to know about what happened here?
So
No.
Do you think of anything else to go over before we end
No.
this?